Hi everyone! In today's video we are going to talk about vertex colors. Why? Because they can cause problems in your outfits. So you need to know how to spot these issues and how to fix them. We'll be using our shorts mesh again for this demo, and I'll explain why in a bit. Here's what we will be covering in this video. You may not really care about this topic conceptually, but it's good to understand what a vertex color mismatch can look like in the game and how to check for it. That way you will be more prepared to troubleshoot problems with your outfits. Simply put, vertex colors are exactly what they say: color that is applied to a vertex. Remember that a vertex is one of the little dots that make up your outfit mesh. And interestingly, a vertex can hold many different kinds of data, including color, lighting, transparency, shading, occlusion, and even animation, just to name a few. In older games, vertex colors were a common way to paint a mesh without having to use a separate texture file. It takes up way less space and computing power, so it was good when systems were not quite what they are today. But nowadays, it seems most common for games to apply separate, highly detailed texture files on top of the mesh instead of, or in combination with, vertex colors. To wrap up this brief explanation, vertex colors are not obsolete. They are far from useless, and you may find them in your meshes. I've linked some cool articles on this subject in the description, so check those out if you're interested to learn more, or if you'd just like to see some examples of what vertex colors can do. The Skyrim Vanilla Gemmed Amulet is a great example of a mesh that uses vertex colors. In NIF scope, we can easily see this because the vertex color flag's in the NIF. There are two places you can find this in SSE NIFs. First, colors will be listed in the vertex description line, which shows up in the block list below when you select any BS Try shape. But more importantly, vertex colors will also be included here in the BS Lighting Shader Properties window. A mesh should either have the flag in both places, if it actually uses vertex colors, or in neither, if it does not. If the flags do not match, you can have issues. In Outfit Studio, we can see the Vertex Colors flag in the Mesh Properties window. Double-click on the mesh name to get there. You can also see what the vertex colors look like by going to View and selecting Vertex Colors. This option is turned off by default in Outfit Studio, but is turned on by default in NIF scope, so your outfit may appear different in the two programs if it's using vertex colors. The current version of Outfit Studio, which is 5.6.3 at the time of making this video, has a little quirk when you perform some functions with your meshes, and it can wrongly add the vertex color flag to a mesh that does not use vertex colors. This may not always cause a problem, but it will often make that mesh appear dark, entirely black, or possibly invisible in the game. We have actually seen this happen a couple of times during this tutorial series. First, way back when we made our first weird mashup in video number 16. And again in the recent video where we perfected our new shorts mesh. If you happen to look at the shorts in NIF scope, you may have noticed the extra flags for the leg band mesh that were not there before. And if you put it into the game, the leg bands are black. The good news is that our Outfit Studio Master Wizard Osnius has identified the cause of the problem. And so this will be fixed and not be an issue in future versions of the program. Thanks, Osnius! Until the fix has been implemented in Outfit Studio, we need to remain aware and vigilant to check for this issue. It's easy to find and easy to fix. Let's do this with our shorts mesh from the previous video. First, Always check the original version of your mesh in NifScope to see if it is supposed to have the vertex flag or not. If it is, then you are fine and can just go on your merry way. But if your mesh should not have the vertex colors flag, then we can fix it directly in NifScope. One important distinction here. This Outfit Studio issue only seems to impact the vertex description flags. So you probably will not see vertex colors added to the shader flags in the BS Lighting Shader Properties block. Instead, we have to remove the flag here in the vertex description line. Right-click on that line and select Flags. Click Yes to continue. Then tick or untick the boxes here as needed. As a reminder, body parts, meaning anything that has skin, should have vertex, UVs, and, for wearable NIFs, skinned flags. And outfit meshes should have vertex, UVs, normals, tangents, and, for wearable NIFs, skinned flags at a minimum. Colors should only be here if, and only if, your mesh actually uses vertex colors. And if that's the case, vertex colors also needs to be listed in the shader flags of the BS Lighting Shader Property block. Outfit Studio, being the versatile tool that it is, actually has functionality for adding, changing, or deleting vertex colors. Here in the Colors tab is where we do that. I can't give you a tutorial on how to make great-looking meshes with vertex colors because I just don't have that experience. But I can show you the process and you can play around with this. And you can read a lot more about it in the resources that I have linked. I also want to credit Dragoon23 here for super helpful advice on Reddit about how to fix a mesh that was made invisible with vertex colors. Please see the link to that in the description. To work with vertex colors in Outfit Studio, first enable the Vertex Colors flag in the Mesh Properties window. Then go to View and select Enable Vertex Colors. Select the Colors tab and click the brush color box to choose your color. You can click on one of the provided colors here under Basic Colors, or use the spectrum to select a color and then click the button to add it to Custom Colors. Click OK. Make sure the Apply Vertex Colors rainbow colored brush is selected up here in the top menu, and then brush over your mesh. To remove the color, hold down Alt and brush over the mesh again. You can also paint vertex transparency to make parts of the mesh invisible. After enabling transparency, or alpha, in the Mesh Properties window, you can use the Apply Vertex Alpha brush, which is this white one, to paint over a mesh to make it invisible. You can undo this by holding down Alt while painting, by changing the clamp max value and painting over it again, or by removing the transparency flags in the Properties window. Although, I would not recommend this last one all by itself, as there's no reason to leave your vertices painted if you don't want them to be. It's also worth noting that using Vertex Alpha is an older form of applying transparency to your mesh, so just be aware that it may not be your best option. Most transparency for Skyrim meshes appears to be done directly in the texture files. One last comment here about painting vertices white. If you apply pure white as a vertex color, it will essentially set the mesh back to no vertex color, and so it will appear like its associated texture file without any of the overlaid vertex colors. If you want to apply and use vertex colors or Vertex Alpha, simply follow these steps and then export the NIF, or save the project for Body Slide, and then make sure the vertex color flags are listed in both places in the NIF by checking it in NifScope. The key takeaway from this video is that dark or black colored meshes and sometimes invisible meshes in the game can be caused by a wrong vertex color flag in the NIF. So check this in NIF Scope and change the flag if needed. Just be 100% sure the mesh does not actually use vertex colors before you remove the flags, or else you can mess up the texture in a different way. Who knew that you could do so many cool things with all those little green dots? Hopefully you found this topic surprisingly interesting. And if you did not, at least you are now aware of the problems that vertex colors can cause with your meshes. And you know what to look for when troubleshooting. Good luck with your outfits, and I'll see you again soon for another tutorial. Bye!